For any Xbox or PlayStation codes or anything gaming related, check out g2a.com, and if you need any Ultimate Team coins, then head over to FIFA. The code CHES will get you a discount on both sites, and all links are down below. Hey guys, how's it going? Chez back again, and welcome to episode number 10 of the Liverpool career mode here on FIFA 15. We're into double figures, and also as we start this one I want to say a massive thank you to all of you for 40,000 subscribers. We hit it yesterday, so you see this on Monday afternoon. I'm recording this Sunday afternoon, and literally about an hour ago we hit 40k, so thank you so much for all of the support. The plan was to try and hit that before New Year's, and we've done it 5 or 6 days in advance. Fantastic, really pleased with that, and I can't thank you enough. Also, I did stream once or twice over the weekend just gone as well, so if you want to make sure that you don't miss out on any streams that I do over on Twitch, then click the link that's in the description down below and it will take you to the channel where you can follow it. And of course feel free to follow me on Twitter as well, etc, to make sure you don't miss out on any of that stuff. But we'll start today with a game against Hull. Of course it's a Monday, so we'll have 2 games and then a squad report, but we got our first win in the league in the last episode last Friday after drawing a large amount of games so far this season. At home against Hull though, really want to be hoping to make that 2 wins so far this year, and we get off to a great start thanks to Daniel Sturridge. He hasn't been in great form so far this year, but he gets a really tidy finish on his left foot. They're obviously always going to turn inside onto that left hand side with when they've got the defender on the inside of me. You have to do that with Sturridge. His right foot isn't anywhere near as good as his left, and it was the obvious thing to do in that situation, and it works. Sturridge was involved again here, playing the ball into Henderson, finds Adam Lallana. Good shot from distance, but Ben Foster in goal for Hull makes a good save down low. They've brought him in from West Brom, and McGregor has been pushed onto the bench, but a decent save from Ben Foster. They couldn't do anything with the first, but keeps it from making it, or keeps us from making it 2 there. And then this time around it was going to be the woodwork that stopped us from making it 2. Douglas Costa this time denied the opportunity to give us a 2-0 lead, but we're still pushing forward in the second half. Sturridge again involved into Douglas Costa, is going to get a really nice turn into the box here, goes for this shot, and it just gets a little push in the back. It's not a shirt pull, as you'll be able to see from the replay. It doesn't actually tug on his shirt, and there isn't a foot stuck in. He's got his elbow in kind of the kidney area of Douglas Costa's back. You see, just say his right elbow, it's just pushing him in the back, and eventually Costa decides that, you know what, I'm just going to go down and see what the ref does. He gave us a penalty. Obviously Stephen Jowell's going to take it, and 99% of the time that results in a goal as well, and this time it did also. So 2-0 as we headed into the second half. A comfortable lead, hoping to extend on it if we possibly could, just to put the game out of sight. Great feat from Jordan Henderson. Unfortunately though, the finish was pretty much straight at Ben Foster. Disappointed with that from Jordan, who's been in good goal scoring form recently. Scored a couple of goals for us on Friday, and we were hoping he could have scored a third there. Unfortunately though, not to be. But Sturridge sets up Stevie, looking for his second of the game, but not quite able to find the back of the net from real Steven Gerrard territory, I guess, kind of 25-30 yards out of goal, and we stay at 2-0. Into the last few minutes, so they push men forward to try and get themselves or back in the game, to try and even just get themselves 1, to then try and find a second. We're played through on the counter-attack. Sturridge takes his time, slots it, but Ben Foster makes a great save with his kind of hip. He goes down, but just thrusts his hip and his right arm up at it, keeps the shot out, but we do get the win. 2-0 is the final score, and we get 3 points for the second time this season in the Barclays Premier League. Second game of the episode is actually in the Capital One Cup. Unfortunately, it is thrashing it down with rain away from home at Barnsley, but we'll try our best. I'm playing a full rotation side in this one. Obviously in the Cup I like to get some of the fringe players from first team football. They're playing a 4-3-3, so it's an attacking formation from Barnsley at home against Liverpool, and obviously they've got Ross Turnbull in goal, who's a former Premier League goalkeeper in the shape of Chelsea, but obviously now plying his trade in League One with Barnsley. But we'll have to wait and see what happens in this one, because I've got, like I say, a bit of a rotation side. Some youngsters in there in the likes of Manquillo and Rudiger, as well as John Flanagan at left back, playing Ballo and Coutinho through the middle though up top. So still a very strong front line. And we've got Hesse and Markovic out wide, so pace on the wings as well. Hesse's going to whip in this free kick here. Joe Allen knocks it down really well to Dejan Lovren. Great strike from the centre-back from 25 yards out, but unfortunately can't keep it down, and it goes over the top of the bar. As you might have expected though, we did dominate the opening stages in this one. Barnsley weren't quite able to cope with this. They did keep a lot of men back, and that holding mid in the 4-3-3 was pretty much acting as a fifth defender for the majority of the first half. And as you'll be able to see, we did continue to keep the pressure up. Balotelli again involved down the right hand side. Nice little Ronaldo chop to get it inside. Then he's got support from Emre Can. Not the best of shots, so again straight at Ross Turnbull. He's had a couple of comfortable saves so far in this first half. I was disappointed with the ability or the inability to find the corners with my shots from distance, but perhaps it was my fault. And again another shot very central from Coutinho, and Turnbull making another accomplished save to keep us out. So we head into the second half. Went in at 0-0. Barnsley pretty much putting up a better performance than Hull did in the Premier League just gone. But Emre Can this time his shot is blocked, but the chance is still alive. It's going to get knocked down to Balotelli. Gets around the corner, squares it back. There's Joe Allen, and that is a very naughty finish from the Welshman. A back heel to give us a 1-0 lead. Eventually we make the breakthrough. Barnsley weren't offering anything going forward. It was just a matter of time surely before we took the lead, and we were able to do so. Question whether that actually went out when Balotelli squared it across, but you can see from the slow-mo replays that's a disgustingly cheeky finish from Joe Allen. Nice little back heel almost through the defender's legs as well to make it 1-0 to Liverpool as we head deeper into the second half. And still they weren't offering anything going forward, and as we'd got the first, the floodgates were going to open. Coutinho with a lovely turn there and then an emphatic finish right into the top corner. Goalkeeper couldn't do anything about that one. It was the little jink just before he took his first touch, just to send the defender across him to open up the space, and then a powerful finish into the top right corner gave us a 2-0 lead. And again, it was the same situation as we had at the end of the whole game. The opposition push a lot of men forward, trying to get themselves back into the game, open up loads of space in behind. Balotelli's kind of running out of space here, but does manage to get the ball back to Suso, who had come on as a substitute to get the equaliser. The defender tried his absolute best to try and get a last-ditch tackle in, almost put Balo off, but you'll see from the replay it's another back heel just there, another back heel pass rather than a finish this time, and a beautiful finish from Suso into an open net gives us a 3-0 lead, a 3-0 win in the end as well, and that's us through to the next round of the Capital One Cup, through to the quarter-finals now. I think that was the round of 16, although I might be slightly mistaken. But like I say, as we're on a Monday, we will have a squad report at the end of the episode. As always with these though, if you want to pause the video at any point to have a look at someone's stats in more detail, then feel free to pause the video at any particular point. A few players not really growing so far this year. I'm not really too sure why. Players like Jordan Henderson, who've been playing 95% of the games but don't seem to be growing. Same with Raheem Sterling. Hoping that some of those players start to grow soon, because we've had the new guys come in like Douglas Costa and Jesse Rodriguez, etc., and they've started to grow quite well straight from the off. But my players like Daniel Sturridge, Raheem Sterling, and Jordan Henderson, etc., not really growing so far, which is slightly concerning. But we are still quite early on in the season, so there's still plenty of time for them to get some form together and start to actually grow as professional footballers. But as you can see, Lallana actually has been one of my best players this year, 4 assists and 2 goals in 12 games, but he isn't growing at all either. So I'm not really too sure why that is, but hopefully now that we've got a few wins under our belt and we're starting to pick up some form, we'll be able to get the wins back to back, and that will hopefully improve the growth of the squad all told. Mattia Perrin has actually been very good for us as well whenever he's come in, and obviously keeping a clean sheet against Barnsley there to go along with Mignolet's clean sheet against Hull City in the previous game. A few of the on-loan players growing quite nicely as well, although a lot of those will just get sold on at the end of the season. I'll probably keep Iliori, Origi and maybe Asaidi. I'm unsure as to whether to keep him or not for now, but that is going to bring today's episode to a close, guys. We're up to 10th now, only lost 1 game so far this season, so obviously it's just the draws that have been holding us back to this point, but we are only 3 points off 4th, so despite being in 10th, we're still very close to the Champions League spots. Of course, it's still extremely tight at the start of the year, and everything can change between now and the end of the season, but that's going to bring today's episode to a close. Thank you very much for watching, guys. There will be a Career Mode Road to Glory episode later on tonight, of course, because it's Monday, and I may stream later this evening as well. I'm not sure. Like I say, follow me on Twitter and on Twitch so that you'll get the notifications to let you know exactly when I do go live, and hopefully you won't miss out on anything. We had, on my first ever stream on Saturday, we had over 100 concurrent viewers for the entire 2 hours that I was streaming, which is absolutely fantastic. If I do stream again tonight, with it being Sunday as I record this, hopefully we'll be able to match that. And again, if I stream on Monday as you see this, then again, hopefully you guys will show some support to the stream. But that is going to bring today's to a close. I'm waffling now at the end. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.